What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 7 of the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. Of course, this is Nisa Muhammad, and I'm going to pass the mic to the one, the only, the Shiro hero, Miss Latasha J. Humphrey.
All right, Queen. Thank you so much for that wonderful intro. And my name is Latasha J. Humphrey, and I'm just glad to be here with everyone today. I want to pass it on to the Queen. Her name is Jalen O. Wilson.
You already knew Nisa was going to pick it how I say hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Jalen, and I'm going to pass the mic to my little sister, Z Baby.
Hi, Jalen. I'm right there with you at the highway. We're here together.
See, Zaria's gives cute, Jalen's gives hotline. I just really give like 1-800.
This is no hotline over here.
Make that disclaimer because we are concerned here.
Oh, God.
All right, y'all. So we're calling this one aesthetically natural. Yes, I know that doesn't even make sense because it's an aesthetic, it's a certain look, if it's natural, it just is what it is. However, before I tell y'all about the title of the episode, please know that aesthetic is not a word that should be in the English language. Autocorrect gave up on me trying to spell this word. Okay, I had to go to my phone and say it and then copy the spelling from my phone to the computer. I just want y'all to understand the struggle. Whoever writes Webster, take aesthetically out because it's hectic. All right, that being said, Nick Humphrey, how about you hit him with, I don't know, maybe a disclaimer?
The views and opinions expressed in We Are Flora Pearl podcast are those of the panelists and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Flora Pearl Foundation Incorporated or any of its affiliated entities.
So regal. Just love it. So basically what that means is if you got beef, you can catch Nisa personally outside. Don't go after Flora Pearl Foundation. Catch Nisa outside. So, did you beautiful women know that a Black woman once said, quote, "Your imperfections make you beautiful. It's those things you find you don't like that someone else finds very special and unique about you. You just accept it and own it. Even if it's not one of your favorite parts, you just own it because that's who you are." Unquote. And y'all, that was said by the Keep a Bad Keke Palmer, okay? When I tell y'all sis got a job on a job and her job got jobs that have jobs, like really.
Keke Palmer works harder.
Period. Millennial diva, all right? All right, y'all, so let me ask you. Anybody know what body dysmorphia is?
No, I can't say that I do.
So body dysmorphia is, and this is a loose definition because my last name is not Webster. And me and Webster right now, we not cool until they get aesthetically out of the book. Body dysmorphia is basically where whatever the perfect body is to society, let's say you had that, you look at your body and you cannot see that you're perfect. So like literally you can find something wrong. It's where someone could say, "Oh, Nisa, I love your eyes." And I go, "My eyes, girl, they too close together. I feel like I weigh too much." And then someone else may look at me and go, "No, you're fine." Body dysmorphia is the inability to see how beautiful you really are at the end of the day. Isn't it terrible?
Nisa's throwing shots today.
I'm not. I'm really not. But it's a thing. Like that was the best example I could give it because those are the things I hear often. But how do you think that impacts Black women today?
Well, speaking personally, I feel like it impacts my confidence. And so, yeah, I will be honest, like I'll struggle with it from time to time. And I'll have the time where I'm not feeling pretty enough, or it'll take me longer to get dressed, or I won't feel comfortable of going to a certain place. So that's my truth.
That's real.
Yeah, I would say so too. As I've matured, I have put on, more weight than I used to have. And there are certain days I feel more confident than others. But yeah, body dysmorphia is a thing for me.
It stops people from like taking compliments. Obviously, that's literally what the entire definition is. But it does, like, people cannot take simple compliments nowadays.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is something. I will say to make sure that I do take the compliment. I literally will say, take the compliment.
It's almost a what's the man name from Suge Knight type of woman? Take the compliment. I said you look good. Like, okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
I will admit that I am still working on that.
Same.
I'm still learning,
And that's why I said it definitely is an intentional thing where just let it be what it is. No matter what the compliment is, it's okay. And don't try to make excuses for it.
The way that I found to like, and I guess it's a cheap way to accept the compliment is I just go, really? Thank you. Like, I appreciate appreciate that because it is something that's appreciated. If I say I appreciate it, I found that like I can acknowledge it more so if it happens again. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you so much. So I actually found out, or we learned, that body dysmorphia is also a disorder. Like people actually get clinically diagnosed with this. And so at that point, it's called BDD. It's a mental illness involving obsessive focus on a perceived flaw in appearance. So it could be minor or it could be imagined, but there are people who literally like cannot get it off of their mind.
Wow.
Isn't that what they show in TV shows where it's like, say someone is like really skinny? It's like an unhealthy skinny, but what they see in the mirror is like that they're bigger.
You're on the money. It's like young ladies who deal with like bulimia or a part of their diagnosis with their illnesses and their battle is body dysmorphia. Yeah, because it's like they see themselves as being too big and it's like they can't see what's actually there. Like that is wild. Like that's a powerful thing. Like the brain can do some amazing stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I will say, I'm not trying to get ahead, but I will say I feel like society plays a major role in body dysmorphia. Just like the little comments, like I've always felt like this. As a man, you cannot speak on a woman, whether she gains weight, loses weight. Like you have no say because a woman's body goes through 10 times more than what a man's body goes through. A woman carries herself and someone else.
You ain't lying. Because women do, like you said, they go through a lot. Like there's childbirth, there's puberty, there's menstruation period. And it's like men just wake up, go bald, and then, you know, essentially that's their life. You know what I mean? Yeah, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Daria made a great point of where body dysmorphia can like start and enhance itself. So y'all, we're talking body dysmorphia. We're gonna talk sizism. Do y'all know what sizism is?
Hit us with the definition, Miss Nisa.
All right, definition. It's when you basically discriminate against somebody for their size. So society has this thing that we like to call like the twos. So if you're not the right look, and the right look is based off of European beauty standards, let's not get it twisted. I don't care how much everybody is right now pushing, black pride and and black hair and black girls and black. Y'all still really base it off of, is the black girl's nose too big or just the right size? Let's be honest. So beauty standards are still based around European beauty standards. And so sizing comes into play is when people who do not have those, if you're too small, if you're too tall, if you're too wide in the hips, if your nose is too big, if your ears are too whatever, then you're considered to be a 2 in society versus if you just look aesthetically pleasing. Sizism is, I'm going to discriminate how you look as far as if you look good to me based on European standards. It is wild. Keep that definition in mind, y'all, okay? Keep that in mind. I got one more definition I'm going to hit y'all with, all right? Colorism, because they all tie in today. Does anybody know what colorism is?
Yeah.
Sorry at the nod. So the definition of colorism is discrimination against somebody for the skin tone, like what type of skin tone they have. And that is more so seen internally within a race. So we're going to use Black women today because guess what? We can't speak from nobody else's point of view, from light to dark, to our albino brothers and sisters as well. All right. How about we shake this table? So keeping in mind body dysmorphia, sizism, colorism, and Zaria said in one episode, she talked about texturism, where the texture of your hair determines whether or not your hair is worthy. Yeah, y'all, we got definitions today. What's up, Jalen? I saw that hand raised.
Those definitions made me think of Drake's part in his song, I like a long hair, thick red bone. And now everybody thinks that that's the beauty. You have to have long hair, you got to be thick, hourglass figure, and you got to be a red bone.
I want you to know that Wayne said it, not Drake.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay, because Drake has said some other things that are troublesome. We're going to get to him too.
Same thing. That made society worse. It was already bad before that, but I think it made like the younger generations think that that's the type of woman that they wanted when they look like the bottom of somebody else's shoe, because they don't look like bottom of my foot and my feet pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's the out-of-pocket one today. Okay. Because I'm going to join you on the second, friend. I'm going to join you because you walked us into our next point, right? So she brought up Drake, the music industry. Do you all think that the fashion and music industry, we have to do them hands in hand? Do you think they still have a hold on what beauty is or what style is or what is acceptable when it comes to how people look, and more specifically, Black women. Jalen's head is about to fall off. She is nodding so hard. Go ahead, Jalen.
I feel like this image that they create, like people want to be, oh, this is the person I want to have, but everybody's different. So it's kind of like the music industry or the entertainment industry has played a part. And I feel like people should focus more on their genetics and what they look like before they start to talk about somebody else. Because let's be honest, their parents probably aren't the prettiest.
Oh,
I know, she done came for the mamas and daddies. Okay, is it bad that I think she's not lying to a degree? Let me tell you why. If y'all ever see it on socials, right? Or even if y'all seen it in person where men be like, yeah, my girl gotta have this, or she gotta look like this, and I want da 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 da. It's like men who are like, oh, my girl gotta be light skinned, curly hair, da da da. It's like, sir, your mother is a brown skinned woman. And you talk about, nah, I don't want to be around no darkies. Your mom's brown skinned. Your sisters are brown skinned. What are you talking about? Like, what is wrong with y'all? And even the reverse for like dark skinned girls, if they are beautiful, the comment is always, oh, where you from? You gotta be mixed with something. You're exotic.
you're pretty for a dark skin.
Yeah, which is so wild to me. It's like, where's the self-love come into play? What's the problem? But I do think, like Jalen was saying, the entertainment industry is very dangerous because social media now makes it to where we have more access to the celebrities that we enjoy or that people tend to idolize. And so we tend to think like, oh, so-and-so is living like this. They look like this. They got a man and their relationship is perfect like this. So obviously I need to do X, Y, and Z to have this aesthetic. And I feel like that's mad dangerous because Gen Z, y'all have access to everything. Daria, we used to have to stay up late, find out the password to the block station, remember it, find the remote that our parents hid, sneak in their room, turn the volume all the way down with just the titles going across the screen and watch the mess. Y'all just be like, let me pick up my phone. Oh, look at that.
We used to have to be up at the wee hours in the morning to watch that and couldn't even stay up for church the next day. So we were too busy watching what the grown folks was watching.
That's scary. Look at Zaria's face. Do you think that you all have too much access to stuff, Zaria? Or what do you think about that as far as it goes, like with how people feel about how they look and the entertainment industry?
Yeah, we have a lot of access to everything, which makes us not really appreciate anything anymore because it's kind of like, this is kind of going into another topic, but okay, I'll talk about it. My mom used to say, even when she went to like concerts and stuff, like they would really be in the, like, I'm seeing my favorite artist, like this is amazing. And it's like, it would be a moment because it's literally like, maybe y'all didn't have all the technology that we have today, but it's like literally now our phones, it's, oh God. It's like, that's all you see at a concert. Nobody's really in the moment. And really, there's been like a few artists who have been like, turn the phones off or whatever to really enjoy the experience. Stuff like that, you know, like that's kind of going into like the whole technology thing. But like when you talk about, dang, I had my thoughts, y'all. It was coming.
Because you was on a roll, honey.
See, I would think about 5 different things at once, being like, I got to finish this sentence, then I got to say this.
She was bookmarking her sentences. I love it.
It was about like the whole, does it affect the beauty standard? I had it, but I went somewhere else.
It's okay because you took it a good place because first of all, I don't pay for concerts. I refuse to pay for a concert these days because I can see it on somebody's phone. The whole show. Oh. I saw Beachella for the free ski before it was ever on Netflix. Let's be clear.
You saw the Mary J. Blige concert before it hit?
No way. First of all, I went to the day in Vegas. I was at the concert and I still didn't see it as well as people saw online. All these tall people and I didn't want to be jacked. When someone posted it online, I was like, I didn't even know half of what the performance was, even though I was there. I was so upset.
Wow. And a lot of people, what they do is, and this does go into aesthetic, listeners, we have not gotten off topic, but people buy these tickets to these shows because let's be honest, people like artists based on popularity. Let's be clear with that, right? So there are certain artists that people buy the tickets to stand in front of maybe a shorter folk in the world and record and say, oh, I was there. And if you really think about it, that's how people gain the fame that they gain off of like TikTok and making sounds or whatever the case may be. They get popular overnight because people want to say they knew this first or whatever the case may be. So that's how people like you, Z, and like me who want to either view a concert or they were there and they miss it. That's how we don't get those opportunities because it's like people want to be in the know. They want to be part of that. Oh, I got it first. I was there front and center. And it's like, really? But did you enjoy it? Could you tell me really much about it?
Did y'all see the whole Steve Lacy thing? What happened?
Who is Steve Lacy?
Is he some TikTok star, respectfully, but also not respectfully? Because let's be honest, Ice Spice.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's like he got popular overnight and his concerts are literally like sold out. And then a lot of people found out about him because of this one song. And you know, TikTok only showed like a small little part. That's the part they learned. They went, sold out his concert so that none of his real fans can really go. And then they go there and sing that one little chorus. And then like they go silent. And there was a video that went viral. And then when they stopped singing, they were like, we don't know it, babe. It was like,
wow.
Okay.
So people bought this man's tickets because he's popular and they want to be, that's so wild.
They went for the aesthetic. They went for the, he's popular right now.
Zaria, that is the definition of being aesthetically natural. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a fan aesthetically. Like aesthetically, I'm a fan. Because you can't pay me to go see somebody and I only know 2 seconds of their song. You would never.
But this is the thing. That's how it's designed. And I'm talking about everything in the entertainment industry. It is designed to basically set standards of where you should aspire to be. And that's society as a whole. That's what the entertainment industry does. So when you say, do you think they still have a hole? Absolutely. From the time that celebrity was even established back in what was it, 50s? Like the whole celebrity thing that was created by someone.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, Ms. Humphrey, like a celebrity is just somebody who has a talent that everybody decided to make them popular. Because I'm on the Clock app now. Ha ha ha. Y'all ever heard some singers on that app? Some of them singers are better than whatever is out here some of these days. I ain't lying. True. But they don't have that aesthetic.
Yeah.
And the people to back them.
That part.
And so we were talking before about certain people to get to certain levels. There are certain things that have to occur for you to get there.
After hearing about so many artists who have been like blackballed, and it's like they get blackballed because they didn't do something that somebody wanted them to do. And it's like when you think about it, a lot of these artists that are super successful and had no problems whatsoever, nothing got leaked, so they had the power to like have everything be in their favor. They had to have done some things. Some of us who be acting like we know these celebrities personally, they would never do that. Some of them have done some things, and since they did them, they did not get blackballed. And there's a few people who may have had the, I don't want to do that, I'm good, I'm gonna be my own person, who now all of a sudden they're in the gutter.
One-hit wonders.
Yeah.
When she said that, it really is like a tiptoe because you're like, you don't want to go there. But I'm just saying, let's be clear. You don't know them. You know what they let you know.
Yeah. And at some point it becomes mind control.
Nobody's going to post themselves on their bad days. Everybody's going to post themselves when they are at their best, because that's what they want you to think they do on a daily. It's like nobody's going to post themselves when they cry in a room.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, the only time like a celebrity will cry online is if they're about to be canceled. Oh my God, guys.
I'm still maturing.
Still maturing. Or when they want to pull that, and this is no disrespect to anybody really going through it, but it is also a part of the aesthetic. And it can be when they use it as a weapon that, oh guys, I was in a depressive state when I said or when I did.
Nisa, please say that louder for the people in the back. I cannot stand when celebrities do that. They don't really be depressed, but they want to make a scene and they want to post something on social media. Like that is an insult to the mental health community, to people that are truly going through the chemical imbalance within their brain. That is an insult. And if you were any type of a human being, then you would not do something like that.
And that's coming from a mental health professional, y'all. Period. Yeah.
I do not like that. That is one way to ruffle my feathers, for real.
So we're all in agreement. The entertainment industry definitely has a hold on what is aesthetically pleasing, beauty standards, popularity, all of that. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to talk about enhancements, y'all. If you've seen any type of teen movie or rom-com or anything like that, there's always one scene you can bet your dollar you're going to see with some popular song in the background. And that is a makeover scene. And that is the moment where the main character goes from drab to fab, as they like to say. Plucking eyebrows, essential waist, a pair of shoes that show their perfectly polished toes randomly out of nowhere. Their toes are perfect, you know? And then that character's life suddenly gets so much better because what? They look like everyone else. They look better. Do you guys think that that whole makeover, drab to fab thing that we've been seeing since the beginning of time that they push, do you think there's a connection between that and the number of young ladies who willingly will go under the knife to enhance themselves?
I'll tell you why. Then I want to hear Generation Z standpoint. For real.
Go
Because
ahead.
they express that when you look plumper or when you have that figure, when you wear that waist trainer, everything is just peaches and cream for you. But that person is still broken on the inside. And then they add the silicone to it and it just made it worse.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you get to the point where you're like, oh, well, this person has to look like this and look like that, and they got to be this and that. When you have all these criteria of what someone has to look like for you to be with them, you lose sight of who they truly are on the inside. My mom would tell me all the time, they could be the baddest thing walking the earth with the ugliest attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do feel like it's played a major part. Like people, not just in the dating world, but in general, they look at people as a sense of how good do they look or what things have they added to enhance their beauty, when in reality, they really need to enhance the beauty on the inside and go to therapy.
Well, all right now. Z, Ms. Humphrey.
Well, I would say one thing before I get to it, but I was like, most of those makeovers in movies, they put on glasses and then they take off them glasses.
Say it slower. One more time.
They have glasses on, they're the
Mhm.
nerds, they have the books, and then the makeover is them taking the glasses off and taking their hair out of a ponytail. That is the makeover. First of all, that already starts a lot with people who just wear glasses. Like, what the heck? But here's the thing, and y'all may not agree. Oh God.
She said a conversation.
This isn't from Ologency. I'm sure other people would think differently.
Go ahead, sorry.
As much as when they do the makeover, their life is so much easier, as much as it is damaging to only think about looks, I don't think they're wrong.
Tell them why you think that, because I see where you're
about to say,
let her have it, Jay.
Elaborate.
Because I see where your brain is going. Sorry, go ahead.
I've always said it before, pretty privilege is a real thing.
There it is.
And it literally is, as much as we want to go down the whole, your looks don't matter. Like Jalen was even saying, the baddest person ever can have the nastiest attitude. So many people will give them excuses because of the way they look. I'm not saying that's how I think personally, but in this world, it gets you far if you are a pretty person.
Zara is not lying.
No, I respect that.
She's not lying.
So let me ask you this. If this privilege is a thing,
Mhm.
right? Is there a sense of abuse that comes with that then? And is there a responsibility for you to then speak up or speak out for those who may not get that?
I think so, because as somebody who has benefited from pretty privilege and big booty privilege, it just is what it is. Mama gave me the goods, okay? As somebody who's benefited, I think there is, because there are days where I don't always feel like I should get the pretty privilege, right? Like we were talking about earlier about dysmorphia. There are days where I don't feel this, and this. Or as someone who, in my opinion, I don't have the aesthetic of whatever pretty is. I'm a different type of pretty is what I've always told myself. And it just is what it is. I think there is something to be said about complimenting other women who are pretty differently. I don't like the term like, oh, she's ugly. She's pretty differently. Because if you really think about it, what they push to us is what they find appealing. However, and this is respect to her because Mama's gorgeous. Winnie Harlow, there would not have been a model like Winnie Harlow out here back in the day. Naomi Campbell is a dark-skinned model. There would never have been. However, somebody decided one day we can work with this, put her on the stage. And then all of a sudden, dark-skinned girls look well to people. All of a sudden, girls with vitiligo are the new whatever. So I think there is a responsibility for you to be humble about it, for one. Don't abuse it. Don't think it's a right. And there's a responsibility for you to empower, compliment, and also have respect for the next young lady.
I would have to agree, but also take it a step further on the mental side. It just speaks about how you are as a person.
So you know how they say like inner beauty reflects outwardly, and if you're ugly on the inside, it reflects outwardly as well. Do you think that's a real thing, or is that just something your mama say when, you know, she wants you to stop crying on her shoulder?
Oh, I do. And I think earlier when Zaria was saying you can look a certain way on the outside because that's what it looks like, but on the inside, you basically are not a nice person. I mean, for the most part, you know what I mean?
No, I think so. But it's like you can meet the most attractive person ever. And then when they talk,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh my God, all of a sudden, everything I thought was attractive. Wow.
And that's not even just women. It could be men as well.
That's what I mean.
Where you definitely, I'm not going to sit and act like, because people want to say, oh, you know, it don't matter what they look like. No, you have to be attracted to the person.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
However, I'm an intellectual, and of course, like I love humor, right? So if you can't even have a conversation with me, it's not about you using the big words and being able to be this big intellectual. You should be able to hold a conversation. And to be like when you open your mouth, okay, that's why. That's how I look at that.
But the thing is about like men and women like that, said though. The reason why they're not very bright is because they've gotten so far with their looks alone. Like that's why they're so bland.
Yeah, there was this guy at my school, y'all, and we literally, our favorite thing about him was when his mouth was closed. He was gorgeous to look at.
But here's my question. How do you live with that? Like, if you're just basing it off of how they look or how their body is, if they got a big butt and a nice smile, when you have to sit down and have adult conversations or a serious talk, like, how do you live with it? Like, how are you okay with talking to a doorknob?
They don't talk.
They don't talk. Do you know, I mean, really, how many relationships, how many marriages, how many situations?
It's based on that.
Yeah, it's the physical.
I just can't do that.
It's a wild concept because I think that, like, when Humphrey she was saying, like, got to be attracted to that person. For me, with men, I look at your fingernails first to determine two things. One, are your hands strong? Can I tell that you do work with your hands? Or do you just tweet all day and play the video game? And two, are your fingernails clean? Them is the first two things I need to know. And then it's like, okay, fingernails good, hand check, cool. He know how to build a house and he take care of his fingers. He's attractive. Okay, let's see if this conversation goes well.
Yes.
Baby. And literally, it's probably just one question you could ask an individual, right? And it's some moral question. And the answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know. And like Humphrey said, they don't have to know the entire dictionary front and back. But babe, that mindset, like if you ain't saying the things that sound like some moral common sense to me, you could be looking like Maxwell. And y'all know Maxwell was my first grown man crush. You could look like Maxwell. And I do, y'all. It's something about that smooth old Maxwell's a smooth old man. He is. Something about you could look like Maxwell, but ain't nothing you could do for me if you dumb.
If you can't have an intellectual talk, you might as well just keep on walking with me.
Oh yeah. Do y'all think it's that way with men? No, they just basically
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Of course, there are some now. I mean, it goes both ways now because there's some of us who are a bit shallow. We see the outside is just like, oh my gosh, he's so attractive, and then
I know some.
That's all they needed for them, and they call it a day. They get into situations or whatever. It's toxic, it's whatever, and it's the thing. I feel like there are some men who they do.
Let me take it back. I agree with Miss Humphrey.
Okay.
I just feel like I haven't met many.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna take you some places, Jalen. We're gonna go some places and meet some people. I can show you the world.
And then it may, yeah, I'm gonna let you.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Okay. And I just want to preference like the conversation about young ladies going under the knife and us getting there. I want to preface it by saying that there's nothing wrong with doing whatever you want with your body in that aspect. I guess my whole thing about it is make sure it's something that you're doing for you, not to impress anybody or not to keep up with the Joneses or the Kardashians or anybody of that stature or whatever the case may be. And then also know that like you have to have a good mindset going into it. Like before you go under the knife, a lot of doctors, the good ones, will tell you like, do you have a support system? You might want to consider getting a therapist because your body's about to go through a lot. Okay, silicone breaks down over time. That releases a chemical. Your body's made up of chemicals. It's science, baby. Ain't I smart? Yeah. Yeah. Went to colleges, didn't graduate though. You will be able to tell. Oh yeah. Y'all, this is gonna blow y'all's mind because we're gonna talk about it. So we talked about colorism, right? We talked about sizeism and body dysmorphia. So consider this. People have told Glorilla, Miss G to the L to the O, Big Glow. They've told her she needs to get a BBL, y'all. No, Miss Humphrey said no.
They need to leave my girl alone. It's something about her outside of the fact she's Leo. You know, that's what's up.
Oh,
but
sorry, leave her alone. She need a teammate right now. It's 3 against 1.
It's something about her spirit. Like we don't know everybody is celebrities and all that stuff, but it's something about her energy. I would say, I really like her, but absolutely not. Oh no, why can't she just be herself?
Let her work on the headlights and mind her business, okay?
Right.
She ain't lacking back there anyway.
She said she wanted to be a I mean, she got that done. I'm like, why she can't? I'm just saying.
Tell them people to mind the business that pays them. If it don't pay them, why are they even speaking on it?
I just feel like I'm too broke to be in rich people business anyway. So
like, no, I am.
Her comments look a little bit different than mine. I ain't saying I'm not gonna get there, but I ain't there yet.
Exactly.
Y'all, she's just so sweet. Like she grew up in church. She was homeschooled. She's one of 10, just like me. She was homeschooled like me. You know, I was like, me and sis, we here. So yeah.
You grew up in church.
Yeah.
And she be rapping FREE.
When she went to public school. So the story goes from her, apparently her sister was tired of being homeschooled, and because she would get, when kids is bad, they get whoopings or whatever. So her sister got tired of getting whoopings, and she would call children's services on their mama and say she wasn't teaching them nothing at homeschool. So the state made her mother put her kids in public school. But had that not happened, we might not have got it after that, y'all. That's a good song.
What in the Nisa?
What?
I'm scared of Louise. I would never. Ain't call the police on her.
She said, I'm
Baby,
out.
I wouldn't even tell God about it. I wouldn't even pray. Listen, God, she whooped me. Because then she come in my prayers. Who you talking to? Nobody. But yeah, so people have told her that, and we all saying no to that. That's what? Projection, everybody. Everybody say projection.
Projection.
Now, look, her middle name's Hallelujah. Can we sing it choir? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, projection as all get out. Like, they're really attacking my sis on some, you don't like yourself. And now y'all thinking she got to change who she is. I think she's adorable. I think she's gorgeous. And apparently they're also asking her, like, sex up her look a little bit, be a little more feminine with it. So I just hope she remains true to who she is, which I think she will.